So I'm putting my horizontal stabilizer back on my 180 here, and I'm rigging the trim jack screws. They talk about putting a drill rod through and measuring up from the drill rod to the stop plate here, 4.37 I believe it is. And I got mine set up. Make sure your eccentric cams here are I put them down in the low spot, but want to make sure they're the same on both sides. I've cleaned all my attach points up, looked at them real good, got my tail wheel on, my stingers in. It's all looking real good in there. My chain looks real good. Also, I cleaned my vertical up, all my attach points here, checking them out. As you go through and clean, you're inspecting at the same time, looking for cracks, and also keep your service letter handy. It's always the main reference to doing this inspection. So now we're about ready to put my horizontal stabilizer on. I still have my rudder cables to string out and put my pulleys back in, and with a little bit of help, looks good. Here again, looking for cracks, corrosion. Not really much going on in there. It looks real nice and solid. I like my tail wheels all straightened up and looking good. Right on. Okay, me and my buddy just put the horizontal stabilizer on. We had to move the eccentric bearings and then also mess with the trim jack screw up and down once, just to get the bolts lined up perfectly in the top of the jack screws. It's sort of a wrestling match, but you want to make sure that the bolts go in nice and smooth, super tight. Got a little oil can in there, but it's super tight now. Feels really good. You want to make sure, like I said, that the bolts go in easy so that the jack screws work well, and the trim works like butter. I like butter. Everything cooks better with butter. Well, I got my vertical on. It's looking pretty good, very solid. New hardware. It's kind of a bear crawling in and out of that tail all the time. That's devil made that tail. Anyway, I'm replacing all the elevator bearings, and I'll do my vertical rudder bearings here. They're all kind of chowed. The bearings are pretty expensive. They're like, oh, 85. They're very proud of them. But I went and bought some from P-Punk, and these are the bearings they have. Really nice. They're only 67 bucks. If you ran a seaplane, this would be the way to go. I mean, they look like they last forever. So I'm going to try these out and see how they work. They look like they're good. And I'll just use my handy dandy tool and press them in there. And really like the looks of those. So we'll give those a try. The horizontal is just really nice and solid now. No clicky clacky. Little oil drum in there. I got my greasy fingerprints all over the place. But she's really nice and clean now. Be a great tail. Looks pretty good. All right, super. So we got the elevators on, just putting them on, all new hardware. Put those bearings in there. Feels real good. There's one of the bearings. Look real nice. They swing real good. It's hard to find good help nowadays. And she's looking pretty good coming in. I got my plastic cap on the top is fucking 100 years old or something, and it broke right here to do some sort of repair. Always repairing, always fixing. But she's coming along good. Well, I've got my tail all back together. Turned out pretty well. No major discrepancies. All new bearings. Cleaned out. Still got some fingerprints around it. But really tight. Trim moves like butter. Pretty happy. You know, it's just a good solid bird. It needs a little paint, maybe. But all in all, got to send in the paperwork to Cessna for the service bulletin. And it took about, it's a good 3-4 day project. So, well, I finally got my tail all back together. It's looking good. It's a pretty good project to comply with that SB. It's at least 4 days. Got it all nice, got the new bearings, all new hardware, cleaned everything up. Yeah, got it all off, all back on, so it's looking pretty good. Love my 180. So yeah, I sent in the paperwork. I'm gonna have to take it off again here one of these days, replace this, but I can't get it all. It was a mad rush just to get it all done in the short amount of time I did it in. When you're working on your own plane, you're just working on because you love it. No one's paying you. But oh, and I still have to fix my beacon. That piece of plastic cracked on me, but I'll take care of that sooner or later here before I go fly. Tail wheels all in good shape. Yeah, she's a good airplane, good solid airframe. Anyway, glad you're watching. Keep them flying.